Hello everyone, you can see my full name and my student ID on this slide. And with the fifth workshop, I would like to talk about employee relation and its importance in decision-making process within an organization. The company on which I do research is Vinmec International Hospital. Vinmec is a non-profit organization operated by Vinmec Healthcare System. It follows international standards, and I choose this organization because my relatives work there, so information is reliable. Now, let's move to the main parts. Employee relation is the relationship between an organization and its people through transparent practices and relevant laws. And good employee relation results in long-term commitment. Meanwhile, decision-making process is the process of selecting one of many plans to obtain desired outcome. And to emphasize the importance of employee relation in the decision-making process, Miller claimed that it is an effective method of motivating employees. According to Onwood and Salat, there are 6 steps in a decision-making process, which are identifying the issue, collecting information, choosing alternatives, evaluating the evidence, implementing action, and last but not least, reviewing. I will apply the theories in a specific case of VMAC. Then I analyze why employee relations is fundamental. I would choose temporary visitor restrictions policy in the context of COVID-19 pandemic. In the first step, the recurrence of the epidemic is recorded in July 2020, and as the source of infection came from big hospitals and nursing homes, people hesitated to go to hospitals as much as possible. Thus, it is essential for WinMec to be active in updating news and collecting information to create suitable and effective strategy to take timely action. So, the second step requires high involvement of employees. Next step is identifying alternatives. If the initial plan didn't work, proper alternative would be considered to stabilize the situation. In this case, WinMec introduces remote healthcare service and soon received positive responses from customers. Then, evidences and the opinions of functional department and their staffs would be taken into account so that the system can measure the viability of the plan. Review could happen if any mistakes were found so that the plan will be carried out perfectly. When the plan is clear and detailed enough, it will be implemented. Supervision is necessary for performance measurement and timely correction. Through the case, we can conclude that the two most crucial steps in HR assessment are gathering information and evaluating evidence. Why? Because employees directly take part in the working process, so the two steps further clarify the importance of employee relation within an organization. The more employees engage in the decision-making process, the tighter the relation, the more information they can get. On the other hand, issues will be evaluated objectively. And you can see that it's a win-win relationship why both employee and firm will be benefit from an effective relation. Although only managerial positions can make decisions, we make highly appreciate the participations of its employees. The system encourages contributions in form of information, ideas, and evidence. After the informations are collected, feedback will filter good suggestions and seriously review them. And by that means, feedback considers suitable policy to adapt to the current situation while satisfying the employee's expectation and profitability. To measure the relation, we may take advantage of partition level. The more development, the more convenient and suitable workplace, the more employee engagement, so the lower the severance rate. So if the employee didn't involve in the operation, the turnover rate of HR would rise, which include voluntary and involuntary turnover. COVID-19 had a bad influence on Vinmec. Visitors and patients decreased by 15% in 2020, recorded by Vinmec Central Park. Along with the appearance of technology in treatment, the staff are facing the threat of employment. Vinmec downsized its personnel regularly, even before the pandemic, so to keep their jobs, Vinmec people have to finish more given tasks. This leads to unbalanced work-life scale, and consequently, low retention is a result of both voluntary and involuntary dismissal. This is my reference list and my presentation note. Thank you for listening.